my question to you is the Etsy glitch not a glitch, but a designed feature? Here's a term that you might not know about. Maybe you've heard about the Etsy glitch that has been going on since November, where you can't find your listings or your store in general. What if I told you that this glitch was actually planned, or at the very least, an unintended result of changes behind the scenes? What's up, everybody? Dave here. So I want to share with you a theory regarding this Etsy glitch, because so far the internet has only responded by saying, hey, this glitch exists. I have some educated insight into the matter, or uneducated, however you want to see it, but I have a theory and I think it's worth thinking about, or at the very least, understanding. Before we jump into it, definitely grab the Etsy Ads cheat sheet in the description below. It'll help you grow your sales on Etsy, as well as understand Etsy Ads deeper. Also, if you would like help one-on-one in my mentorship program, book a free 10-minute call in the description below. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of Etsy sellers reach 6 figures and beyond selling on Etsy, and I would like you to be the next seller. So let's jump into it. Check out this post here on the Etsy official forum. This is one of the top posts right now, just based on reactions and comments. So it's by Eclipse Empress here. I'll read it to you briefly. Multiple shops completely gone from search since November 6th. Need answers from Etsy team. So I'm writing this because I've seen many sellers posting about the same issue over the past week, and none of us are getting any real answers. Here's what's happening. Since November 6th, shops are disappearing from search. Views dropped to almost zero. This is hitting established shops with years of good history, good metrics, no violations. Multiple sellers have reported the exact same pattern. It started on November 6 or 7, putting shop in vacation mode, temporarily fixes it for 24 hours, then happens again. I would never recommend putting your shop in vacation mode, even if that does fix it, because that will remove all of your listings no matter what. I guess it could act as like a reset by removing it, then telling the system, hey, I'm back, put my listings back in, because the problem does seem to be de-indexing. Fixes it for 24 hours, then happens again. Same timeline, same workaround, same shops affected. Nobody knows what's causing it. Support tickets, by the way, shout out to her for making this post on the forum and outlining it very clearly for the Etsy mods to bring it to attention, however helpful that might be. They probably even know about the situation, and I'll get into that later, but nobody knows what's causing it. Support tickets get generic responses, go figure, or go days without updates. We're left checking our shops every morning, not knowing if we'll be visible or not. Toggling vacation mode daily to appear in search. Personally, I'm concerned if doing this will affect the shop ranking in long term. Yes, it will. Long term as well, absolutely will hurt you. Running a business in this type of uncertainty is not fun. Technical issues happen. We understand that. What's actually concerning is having no information at all. Is this a known bug? Is someone working on it? Will it keep happening? Should we expect a fix? We have no idea because nobody is telling us. That's why I wanted to make this video, because I have a very strong theory and thesis on what's happening, why it's happening. For many of us, this is an important source of income. It's peak season, and not knowing is as real as the bug itself. You can't plan, you can't adapt, because you don't know what's going on and how many times it will happen again in the future. If you're in this boat, I feel for you. You definitely want to diversify where your traffic comes from. If I've learned anything in the past 8 years of selling on Etsy and coaching Etsy sellers, is that you have to have a standalone website. You have to master social media. And then once you get to that point, you have to get good at paid ads outside of Etsy. If you want to have an actual business, not just like a fun, cute hobby, you need to expand outside of Etsy. However, Etsy can provide a vast amount of income when you do it right. And that's why I love Etsy. That's why I still love Etsy. And that's why I have hope and faith in that Etsy will get it together in terms of their mess ups. So what we need, just clear communication, even if it's we're investigating and we don't have a timeline yet. The reason why I think that they haven't said that is because of what I'm going to get into in my theory in a second. It's better than silence. We need to know someone sees this, someone is working on it as we speak. If you're going through this too, please add your experience below so that we bump this thread. When did it start? What are you seeing? Have you gotten any actual information from support? So, edit. Thanks to Norse Kids for the insight. After further analysis, it's important that we use right technical term for this situation while we've been using the term de-indexing, which is which is what happens only at the surface, it's more accurate to describe this as a total search invisibility issue. So key terms here, definitely. Our listings are still indexed. They can be found using the search bar inside our own shops, but a glitch in the public search algorithm is making them invisible in general searches. This distinction is important as it will let the Etsy technical team know what is actually happening to the shops affected. Awesome. Okay, so some of the comments are interesting and you can go look at that, but it's essentially just everybody mirroring each other. So let's jump into my theory. So the Etsy glitch is a planned and on purpose phenomenon. Or, like I said in the intro, at the very least, an unintended result of changes within the algorithm. Their whole, let's integrate AI into the company. Every big company is racing to integrate AI, even if they don't need it, just so they can put a press release out there saying, we have AI now, so the stock goes up. AI is in a huge bubble. I don't know how to speculate on that. I don't know when it's going to end and kind of chill out, for the lack of a better term. But I seen a TV at Target and it was labeled AI. So you remember when everything was smart? Everything was coming out as smart this, smart that. Now it's AI. I seen a washer and dryer at Best Buy that said it has AI. So it's definitely a bubble right now if a washer and dryer can be integrated with AI. So anyway, Etsy's racing to get AI integrated, and this is what's causing this glitch. So hear me out. You can't find your listings. You try on private browsers, you try with VPNs, but you do not show up. I've said for years that searching your own listings is a waste of time, number one, because it is, and you never really could find yourself anyway. But now we've reached a point where there is an quote unquote Etsy glitch. And it's very real. And people aren't able to find their listings at the very minimum. But my question to you is the Etsy glitch not a glitch, but a designed feature? Okay, so here's a term that you might not know about: context-specific ranking technology. Ooh, this was originally called interest-based search results. It was on their website. Now they call it this. And I'll show you right here on their website. It's in the seller handbook. It's in this article titled How Etsy Search Works. And so it's called context-specific ranking technology. So previously, years ago, it was called interest-based search results. And we knew about this. This was getting search results based on what you've purchased in the past, right? So if you're logged into Etsy and you have a purchase history, a viewing history, and a click history, they'll show you things based on what they think you will like. It's the same thing as, your Instagram feed. It's the same thing as, your For You page on TikTok, whatever it may be. It's the same exact attempt to show you more of what you like. That's interest-based search results. But now it's amped up. It's probably AI infused somehow. Thank God. Context-specific ranking technology. So this means likely it's not just based off buyer history. You don't even probably have to be logged in. They can probably use cookies and all this kind of stuff on your computer to show you what they think you will like. Now I'll read it to you. We also rank listings using our context-specific ranking technology. CSR helps us show shoppers relevant listings we believe they're more likely to purchase based on what we've learned from shoppers' habits across Etsy. So, before we get into the details, a few important details to note. This is interesting that they say this. Etsy Plus doesn't influence where listings appear. Star Seller doesn't influence where listings appear. And then here's a statement I don't think they should have on there, because they say running an Etsy ads campaign does not influence where your listings appear in Etsy search outside of the designated advertising spaces in search results. Okay, so they're claiming that Etsy ads don't affect your organic ranking. And on the outside, they might be able to say that. However, if you have Etsy ads running and you're getting more sales because of those Etsy ads, then it's going to do better organically. That is a matter of fact. There's no disputing that whatsoever. They can say that they don't have some kind of built-in mechanism to make the fact that you have Etsy ads on a listing make it do better organically. However, sales from Etsy ads will make a listing perform better, have more sales history, have more click-through rate, have more momentum organically. So That's not actually true whatsoever. Anyway, we covered context-specific ranking. That is the AI mechanism I believe that is responsible for this glitch. They turned this dial up far too much, and they're attempting to match all these things, and in that mechanism are removing listings from search results. So my theory is that this is what is driving the Etsy glitch. You don't match as a potential customer for your own products because you're not buying your competitors' products. Neither does the private browser that you're checking in, nor does your friends or family's computer that you're checking on. So it doesn't show up. So it's not showing up because you're not a potential match based on those ranking factors they see as fit to show you that listing. And they may have turned that dial up too far to the point where things are just getting straight up removed. And that's the glitch. But the mechanism at hand is not going to go away. They're always going to have these interest-based search results or purchase history-based search results or what they are calling context-specific ranking technology. So my theory is that they turned up the dial far too much, and that has resulted in this glitch. Will this glitch go away? Who knows? Because like this post that we looked at earlier says, there's no official announcement, hey, we're working on it, this, that, and the other. Because if they are to admit fault, you know that is going to be bad news. And you know that's going to be bad press. And they want to avoid that completely. So they have to keep us sellers in the dark to save face, essentially. So I believe that this glitch will resolve itself in time, but they're still going to have heavy AI ranking type things. Titles and tags are not the only thing that will rank you. And I'm going to talk about this in a future video because Etsy is evolving and it's important that we evolve with it. I'm not saying to accept or like any of the things that you don't like or you don't want to accept, but I'm saying if you want to make an income on Etsy, you can pivot. This is not the first time we've had to pivot. In the past 8 years, 8 years is a short time, but I've seen a lot of different changes and a lot of different pivots we've had to make as sellers. So if you really do want to pivot and make more money, definitely grab the Etsy ads cheat sheet below, book a free call with me, and stay positive. The last thing that you want to do in order to grow your Etsy store is to look at news like this and just say, see, I can't make it on Etsy, because that's not true. All the successful people are either quiet and they're fulfilling orders, or you just don't hear from them in the forums because they have nothing to complain about. They're doing great. You only hear from sellers when they're not doing good. So I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whenever you're watching this. I'll see you in the next video.